The Titanic's story is a powerful lesson about ambition and nature's might. In the early 1900s, technology was booming and the Titanic became its greatest symbol, a floating palace, believed to be unsinkable. On its maiden voyage, people from all walks of life boarded, dreaming of a new future in America. For 4 days the journey was perfect, calm seas, joyful spirits. But on a cold April night in 1912, that dream turned into a nightmare. The disaster shocked the world, shattering faith in technology and human invincibility. The Titanic, once a symbol of progress, became a symbol of tragedy. Its sinking revealed the consequences of overconfidence and ignored warnings. The event was not just an accident but a chain of mistakes and pride. The story is filled with courage, heartbreak, and lessons about humility. More than a century later, we remember the Titanic not for its luxury, but for its tragic end. It reminds us that even the greatest creations are vulnerable. By exploring this story, we learn how pride can lead to disaster. The Titanic's memory is a warning: respect the sea, and never underestimate nature. This is a story the world must never forget. The Titanic was built in Belfast, Ireland by thousands of workers and engineers. It was nearly 900 feet long, with engines as tall as a 3-story building, a true giant of the seas. The ship was a floating city, offering unmatched luxury grand staircases, elegant dining rooms, and even a swimming pool. Even second and third class accommodations were better than most ships. 16 watertight compartments made people believe it was unsinkable. The White Star Line promoted the Titanic as the safest ship ever built, fueling a dangerous sense of security. On April 10, 1912, over 2,000 people boarded in Southampton, England, bound for New York. Crowds watched with pride as the ship set sail, filled with dreams and expectations. No one imagined this historic voyage would end in tragedy. The Titanic's myth of invincibility would soon be shattered. Its journey was about to become one of history's greatest disasters. Even before disaster struck, cracks appeared in the Titanic's perfect image. The ship carried only 20 lifeboats, far fewer than needed for everyone on board. Owners thought more lifeboats would clutter the decks, believing they'd never be needed. Crew training was lacking. There were no proper lifeboat drills, leading to confusion when crisis hit. Throughout the day, Titanic received multiple iceberg warnings from nearby ships. Some messages never reached the captain, as radio operators prioritized passenger telegrams. A crucial warning from the Mesaba was ignored, and the final alert from the Californian was dismissed. Despite the warnings, Titanic sailed at near top speed, aiming to impress by arriving early. The sea was eerily calm, making icebergs nearly invisible at night. The stage was set for disaster. Warnings unheeded, speed unchecked. Overconfidence and missed opportunities sealed the ship's fate. The world's greatest ship was heading straight into danger. At 11:40 p.m. on April 14, 1912, lookouts spotted an iceberg dead ahead. The crew tried to turn, but the Titanic was too massive and moving too fast. The ship scraped the iceberg, opening a series of small holes below the waterline. Most passengers felt only a slight shudder, unaware of the mortal wound. Designer Thomas Andrews quickly realized the truth. 5 compartments were flooding. The ship would sink in about 2 hours. At first, few believed the danger was real. The lights were on, the band played, and lifeboats launched half-empty. As the bow dipped and panic spread, distress rockets lit the sky and SOS messages went out. The evacuation was chaotic. Precious time lost to disbelief and confusion. The Titanic, once a symbol of safety, was now a scene of desperation. The crew and passengers faced a terrifying reality. Survival was uncertain. The world's greatest ship was dying in the icy Atlantic. For thousands on board, a desperate struggle for life had begun. The tragedy unfolded quickly, with little hope for rescue. The unthinkable was happening. Titanic was sinking. The nightmare had become real. As the Titanic sank, class determined fate. First-class passengers close to the lifeboats were guided to safety. Women and children first. Early lifeboats left half-empty, as many hesitated to leave the ship. Third-class passengers deep below deck faced locked gates and confusing corridors. Many families were trapped, unable to reach the lifeboats in time. Amid chaos, there were acts of heroism. The band played to calm passengers, and men gave up their places for loved ones. Captain Smith and designer Andrews went down with the ship. Desperation grew. Some men tried to force their way onto boats, and officers struggled to maintain order. The ship broke in two, plunging over 1,500 people into the freezing water. The final moments were darkness, terror, and heartbreak. The Titanic's sinking exposed both the best and worst of humanity. In the freezing Atlantic, hundreds clung to debris, their cries echoing in the night. The water was deadly cold. Most died within minutes from hypothermia. Lifeboats hesitated to return, fearing they'd be swamped. Only one went back, saving just 4. The nearby SS Californian saw distress rockets but failed to respond. Their radio operator was asleep. The r.m.s Carpathia, 58 miles away, raced to the rescue, arriving 2 hours after Titanic sank. Just over 700 survivors were pulled from the lifeboats, cold and in shock. The world was stunned by the loss of the unsinkable ship. Investigations led to sweeping changes: more lifeboats, mandatory drills, 24-hour radio watches, and the International Ice Patrol. The Titanic's legacy is a safer sea, born from tragedy. Its story endures as a warning against pride and complacency. We must always respect nature's power and heed its warnings. The Titanic's memory lives on, reminding us of the cost of ignoring danger. From the depths, its lessons still echo today.